It's also really convenient for if you are like need to change the lighting a lot, like you're setting the light color and intensity to be different than the default settings for each light thing. You know how the lightings, all the light fixtures, they have a default color and intensity to the light, and then you can go and change them. That's also much more convenient if you have a sim living in the house. It's also very convenient for using things such as the tool mod, which I use a lot. It's just much more convenient that way. So yeah, that's my hot building tip. Put a household in your build. Even if you're not building a residential lot, I still recommend putting a household in there. Just set it to residential and have someone live there while you're building it, and then just kick them out and set it to a nightclub or whatever lot type you were going to make. Big recommend. It's a smart thing to do. Oh, also, in an attempt to exercise self-control, I decided I would only landscape half the lot. So there's like a yard area that's landscaped, but then I just left the rest of it whatever, which you don't get to see, unfortunately. This is embarrassing, but about half the time I was building this, I didn't realize I forgot to hit record. Like, I hit record for the beginning, then I took a break, I came back to continue recording, and for that point, I forgot to record for like probably 2 hours of building and landscaping. So lucky you get to avoid watching me place all my like garden stone path thing. I had this genius idea. So those get together stone rug things that are like 15 simoleons each. So you don't usually use them because it's just stone rug and it's weird. But I used those in the garden area for like a stone path. It's pretty cute looking. Lucky you got out of watching me place every single one of those individually. You lucky dog, because I'm incompetent and I forgot to hit record. You're so lucky. Okay, there's a few things that I'm kind of embarrassed about here. There's also a point I tried to make it functional, and then I realized towards the end that I had placed the stove and the counters wrong, so the counter was partially clipping through the stove. Now you may notice in the speed build, wait, it's not clipping through the counter though. Yes, because as I was building, I was doing like cluttering things. So, doing the thing where you move the counter out of the way and you slide the items over where it's going to be, and then you move the counter back. So yeah, the last time I did that, I ended up placing it a quarter tile off where it was supposed to be, and I did not realize that. And then when I noticed it towards the end, I still didn't realize that I had placed it wrong, and I thought I had placed the stove wrong. And so I was like, well, I guess the build's just not functional, because to move the stove, I would have to redo the entire build pretty much, because as you can see, the placement of the island counter is dependent on where the stove is, and also the placement of that wall with the windows is dependent on where the island counters are. So like that is a load-bearing stove. I can't just move it. I went back and fixed the counter, so the build might be functional again. I didn't end up playtesting everything because I was like, well, it's not functional anyway, whatever. So I just gave up and didn't try to make it functional. That's kind of embarrassing, but life happens, and sometimes I'm a little bit stupid, in case you didn't realize. In case you don't believe me, I broke a light bulb setting up to film this, because originally I was going to do it with face cam and do commentary as I was building it, but it just turned out to take a really long time, and I was like, this is annoying and my neck hurts, so I stopped recording my face cam and I made it a speed build instead, and that's what happened there. I never claimed to be a smart person. Oh, speaking of my dumb brain, I want to tell you about a dream I had the other day. I had this stress dream. I'm not sure what I'm stressed about, but it was a stress dream. I was at IKEA, and it was kind of a weird IKEA. Like, it didn't look the way a normal IKEA does. The displays looked different, whatever. Also, I was having a picnic there at IKEA, and they were closing. So they were like, well, it's time to get out. And I wasn't wearing my shoes, so I had to put my shoes... Wait, no, I was wearing shoes. Okay. Backtrack. I had all these small, loose items that I had to carry with me out of the IKEA, because it was a picnic and I'd brought food and stuff, and all I had to carry the items was ripped up grocery bags, so that was stressful. I was wearing a pair of like Converse sneakers, but I also had with me my pair of big chunky steel-toed boots. So I was like, I should change shoes to wear the steel-toed boots because the Converse are going to be easier to carry because they're lighter. So I did that, and I was like lacing up my boots, and the lady on the speaker was like, "The store is closing, please make your way to the exit." And I was like, "I'm working on it." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm working on it." And so I was like, oh, fine. So I didn't put on my other boot, and I just gathered all the items in my arms and started carrying them out of the IKEA. And there was like a huge, really long staircase to get out of the IKEA. And as I was climbing the staircase, it changed into like jagged rocks, like uneven. First they were just kind of uneven, regular rocks, and then they were getting more bigger. It changed from like regular wooden brick steps to like uneven stone steps to just stones that are shaped kind of like a stairs to just big rocks that I had to climb over. And there was a waterfall and a river that I had to wade through, and they were slippery and wet, and I had to climb up on stuff while like carrying all these loose items in my arms. I don't think I dropped anything, but yeah, it wasn't a fun time. And then when I was finally in the parking lot, the IKEA parking lot, I realized I left my phone in there. That's the kind of dream that if I had a therapist, I would be telling them about, and they would be able to like listen to it and reveal something about my true inner psyche. There's some symbolism in there. There's gotta be. There's gotta be some parallels to my life in there and my struggles and what problems I have. Fun dream. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, every time I would like look down at my armful of loose items, there would be more shoes. Like there was another pair of shoes every time I looked down. It's a dumb thing, but like in the moment, the stress is real. You're like, I got all these shoes. I can't drop these shoes. I can't just leave these shoes behind. This is a problem. The mean IKEA lady kicked me out, and now I gotta get all these shoes back to my car. It's a nightmare. And I woke up and I was like, thank fucking God. Thank God I'm not really at IKEA trying to remove all my loose picnic items and shoes from IKEA. What a nightmare. Speaking of IKEA, my friend actually reached out today from like high school and college, mostly high school, but we also hung out some in college to just chat and catch up, which was nice. Like it's related to IKEA because her name is Kiana, but I saved her in my phone. Her nickname is set to be IKEA, so that's why that's related to IKEA. But it was nice. It was like, I was really excited about it because I had been thinking about like reaching out to her to catch up, and then she beat me to the punch. So, what's up, Kiana? She's doing very good, apparently. She was like, oh yeah, I'm a grad student now, and I'm working as like a character designer. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm lactose intolerant now, I learned. But yeah, it was exciting that my friend reached out, so that was nice. It was nice. I'm glad to talk to her again. I missed her, and I'm happy for her. She always wanted to work in some kind of art field, so that's exciting for her, and I'm excited. That's happy for her. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I looked at my phone and it said I had a Facebook message from IKEA, and I was like, what? Why? Especially after like the dream that I had, it was very disorienting. I'm also realizing right now as I watch this that the kitchen sink probably isn't functional, which is bad because it's the only sink in the house, because I wanted to have a little cabinet under the sink, so I put that side table under there. And I think it looks good, but it might not be functional. I should go through and actually playtest this before I upload it to the gallery. Yeah, I should do that. Oh yeah, this was a stroke of genius. I decided the sim who lives here is a violinist. So I have that, the 15,000 simoleon violin is in this house, which, smart move on my part. Very smart. I actually busted out, I think, a lot of different tricks just to like fit more expensive stuff into the house in this one. You can see on the side I have this curtain that's just kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. It's like hung up across the beams. Yeah, I have spandrels inside the house as well, and columns and stuff, which I think helps kind of break up the space without like having to commit to making different rooms, which is nice. They're also 250 simoleons each, which is nice. That helps. It makes it more expensive. There's a bookshelf in here too. I don't actually know if it's functional. I need to playtest this whole thing. I don't know if the bookshelf is functional, but I think it looks neat. I put a stereo speaker on top of it, so it looks like a whole classy speaker unit. Yeah, there's a lot of like really fancy, just bougie looking stuff in this build, and it was fun. I don't usually work with this kind of build style. I tend to go for more modern building styles, modern, mid-century modern, industrial, that type of stuff. So this is fun. It's really fun. I just typically build modern stuff more often because that's what most houses look like where I'm from, or a lot of the houses look like that where I'm from. I can't speak too generally about the Midwest or else Beth will call me out again for that. Hey Beth, sorry about the carpet. Sorry about your wooden bedroom floor, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I previously stated that in my experience, most houses in the Midwest have carpeted bedrooms, and I really don't like the idea of having a non-carpeted bedroom. Like, wood floors, not so bad, but like, the idea of waking up on like a stone or tile bedroom floor is just hellish to me. And I think that might be more common to have harder floors in bedrooms in like more hot climates. But yeah, Beth called me out because their house, not their current apartment, but a house that they lived in previously for many years of their life, that I spent a lot of time in that house, had had hardwood bedroom floors. And they were not happy about me forgetting about that. Strictly speaking, I didn't say I'd never seen a house with hard floors in the bedroom, just that I never lived in one or an apartment with hard bedroom floors. Oh god. I got a full night's sleep today, so I don't have an excuse this time for being bad at talking. I just am, but I'm getting better. I am getting better. That is one thing, once you start making these videos with voiceovers, is that you start to notice annoying things about your own voice, but it also makes you more desensitized to your own voice, because like, you know how you listen to a recording of your voice, and you're like, oh god, make it stop? Please God, make it stop, right? If you listen to your voice a lot, then you will get desensitized to it, and you'll start to feel better about hearing your voice, and you can also like pick up on what it is about your voice that's annoying and fix it. Not like fix it, but like change it so it's not the same annoying thing. Yeah, like I smack my lips a lot, or click my tongue a lot, and I hate hearing that in my voiceovers as I'm editing. It is the worst thing. The bright side of editing is that I can cut those out, but even better is now that I'm aware of it, I'm like doing it less, which makes it even better for like real life conversations. Just a little YouTube observation, because I'm a big YouTuber now. Oh yeah, Kiana, my friend, who I just talked to today for the first time in a while. You know, remember her from earlier in the video? I saw that she subscribed to me, and so I kind of want to ask which video she saw, because I'm afraid it was the Ben Shapiro one, which, to be fair, is simultaneously my greatest work and also the lowest point of my life. So I'm coming up on the end of this video. Yeah, this was my most expensive micro home that I could make. I could have made it more expensive, but I still wanted it to look nice, you know, and have a cohesive style. I ended up going back even and changing the fridge and stove to cheaper but nicer looking ones so that they didn't clash with the style, because the really expensive ones did clash with the style to look okay. So that's why it could be more expensive, but isn't. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. Or don't, I'm not the boss of you. But either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.